Welcome to the High Income Tribe show, where entrepreneurs from all over the world master their high income skills to achieve financial and lifestyle security and freedom. What's up, everyone? How is everyone doing? And finally, the first ever podcast of the High Income Tribe show is here. Guys, welcome to my first ever podcast too. By the way, I am Swarup. For those of you who know me, I know how long you have been waiting for this. And for those of you who don't know me, I would like to take this episode as an opportunity to explain who I am and what is the High Income Tribe all about. So for a long time now, I've been consistently talking about High Income Tribe on social media, especially on Instagram, and showing a lot of results of what our tribe and what our entrepreneurs who are in the tribe were capable of. But I couldn't actually get an opportunity to launch it to the real world. It was in beta for a long time. There are actually a lot of people in the High Income Tribe community right now. There are almost 190 plus entrepreneurs hanging out who are providing digital marketing services. Again, not any digital marketing services, but specific expert level digital marketing services for businesses who are starting up from scratch. And some people are also working with high level companies too. So I would like to take this podcast opportunity, as I said, in order to explain what High Income Tribe is and what my entire story is, why I'm doing what I'm doing in the first place. So I'm super excited for podcast being really, actually guys, the podcast was supposed to be live last year, but there have been so many turbulences, especially when you're starting off a company, especially when you're trying to build a tribe together. There are so many things that I had to do. Majority of the times I was alone, and currently I have a team which is supporting me, and I'm so glad that I'm here. And I just want to give a huge shout out to my team. Yes, so they have been super supportive to me these days, and it took a lot of time for us to actually build a team together and put things together. So that's why the podcast was actually live on Spotify and iTunes almost a year ago. But finally, the first episode is coming out today because we figured the omnipresence importance, and finally I found some time to actually do some episodes. So ultimately, I would like to let you guys know what exactly the High Income Tribe show is all gonna be. As I told you, initially when I got started, I was actually a one-man person running the entire show, right? I was handling my accounts. I was handling the marketing of my own company. I used to do my own closing. I used to handle my own operations. And not only that, when I start providing marketing services for my clients, I was supposed to also manage their marketing systems. I was managing their operation systems, and I was managing a hell lot of things all by myself. Right. So when I was managing all these things by myself, there were too many turbulences. There were too many problems that I was actually facing on a daily basis. And especially the fact that I was so frustrated because of the learning curve I had to go through in order to be where I am right now. So to give you a small perspective of what I do and who I am, currently I am a launch expert. I'll let you know why I said the word currently, because I have transitioned my roles over the last 5 years, starting from just being a video editor and then clicking pictures for someone and then starting to upload these images and videos on social media, try to bring some traction on social media, bring people on DMs. And then from there, I started handling the social media managing part. Slowly, I figured the value of paid advertisements. So I learned in depth on how YouTube ads and Facebook ads were run in the first place. So when I started diving into YouTube ads and Facebook ads, I really didn't have any mentor in the first place. So I think I started off just with YouTube in the first place, and then I started picking up so many courses. And I should let you know, there were so many courses which didn't make any sense out there. In different times, I was actually, I had a different role. So currently, I'm a launch expert. And as a launch expert, what do I do is I help expert businesses set up their entire revenue stream. So what do I mean by that? If an expert business, for example, if a cryptocurrency coach or a yoga coach or even a fitness influencer, a fitness coach, if anyone has some kind of value that they can provide, and if they want to monetize that value, I come in that point of time, right? So there are many experts out there who are really good at what they do, but they lack a lot of systems and the tech, not only the tech and the systems, but also the way of training people, right? It's not necessary that if you're too good at what you do, that you will also be good at teaching that what you do, right? So that's where I come in. I start training people holistically in a way that they can create courses, have coaching programs in place. If they need a book or even a ebook or a website, whatever, it's starting from their simple value propositions online. I start providing them almost every service that they need in order to go ahead and actually make a difference in the real world, right? So that's what, as a launch expert, I help these expert businesses launch their revenue streams. It could be a simple workshop, or it could be a high ticket one-on-one coaching program. So I have done significant jobs. I've worked with chefs. I worked with fitness influencers, cryptocurrency coaches, Amazon dropshipping coaches, Amazon FBA clients, and I've provided way too many services in different domains, right? So now, while I was going through this learning curve, actual learning happened while I was working and doing the mistakes. Frankly speaking, yes, I learned by doing a lot of mistakes, and I've done a lot of mistakes in my life. And it's not about mistakes, it's more of getting your hands dirty in the business, right? So currently there are tons of digital marketing courses out there, but none of them actually provide real-time experience. They can't, because they're not an agency, right? Let me explain you this a little bit. So for example, if you see any medical college, whether in India or anywhere in the world, majority of the times a medical college is always associated with a hospital, right? So the surgeons who are actually doing surgeries in the night are the ones who are actually training you in the morning in the university, right? So because of that, people who are doing real-time work, hands-on, are training you in the morning, and you also get to see the real-time experience in the hospital, what kind of people or what kind of problems people face and everything. That's why doctors get such high quality education. But when you look at an engineering college, none of the engineering colleges are next to an industrial aspect. So I myself am a mechanical engineer by graduation, and during my 4th year of my engineering, I got an opportunity to visit the Toyota manufacturing unit here nearby in Bangalore. And to my surprise, there was a 17-year-old ITI student. I was in my 4th year, who finished BTech in a very good percentage. Yeah, I mean, decent percentage, not bad. There was a 17-year-old who was not even a graduate yet. He was an ITI student who took up the real-time job in Toyota because of their research and development unit, nurturing these people who are working right there. He was explaining me step-by-step process of how a Toyota Fortuner is built, right? How much time does the conveyor belt take for the car to pass through? How much time does it actually take to manufacture one car? How much time does it take to actually put together the entire assembly unit? What goes into the electronics? What goes into the engine? Everything he had literally in his mind, and he was explaining me so seamlessly in great English. It's like, wow, I was like, how did that happen? Because he was getting real time experience day in and day out. He was doing the work, he was seeing the work every single day while he was learning. That is exactly how he was so good at what he was doing, right? Now, just because I got a degree, because I had I could manage some kind of pressure that universities or even schools, make us go through in order to go through the examination and figure out stuff. Because of pressure handling situations, people have gotten jobs for a long time, and that was the way to actually judge if somebody was good at something or not. But now that's not the case. The amount of capabilities that you can actually, I mean, the number of opportunities in the industry currently, I mean, in the world right now, even ever since COVID, the number of people who start their businesses from scratch sitting at home, the number of people who build up skills sitting at home, content creation, doing painting, dancing, or doing stuff that they can do at home, learning new skills like running ads, building apps, doing crazy stuff that people are doing, right? So the entire world got accelerated like crazy because of COVID-19 situation. Now we have enormous amount of opportunities all around us, right? In such situations, the biggest problem is that, as I was saying, when I started learning, when I got started, I was literally alone. I didn't get any kind of real-time experience while I was hopping through courses after courses. I was going through so many courses and there was so much confusion. And nobody were giving me a holistic solution on how exactly marketing works. What exactly is digital marketing? Unnecessarily, people were confusing the shit out of me. Literally, if I got into understanding, okay, how digital marketing works, people said start with SEO, right? Start writing blogging, start writing blogs, figure out what is affiliate marketing, then figure out how things put together on this. If I have to write blogs, I need to understand the concept of putting together, writing well. I mean, if my English is not so good, I need to start writing really good. I wasn't really sure of my writing, so I was not sure of writing blogs either, and I wasn't sure how much I was going to enjoy that process, right? So figuring out whether I had to write blogs, and then somebody came and told me, you know what, you can learn how to build a website, you don't need to know coding. I was like, oh, that's so cool. As a mechanical engineer, I didn't actually learn even a single bit of code. Yeah. So I didn't know any kind of coding, and I was so scared of building websites. But there were so many softwares like websites like Elementor Pro, or even ClickFunnels, which were just drag and drop, and you could build a website within like 10-15 minutes, and those opportunities were right there. I was like intrigued by these opportunities. Okay, that's crazy. You can actually build a landing page. Okay, let me learn how to build a landing page. Now, when I started building a landing page, they came and told me, you know what, if you have to build great landing pages, you need to understand how Photoshop and Figma and everything works. Okay, then I went ahead and learned how Photoshop and Figma works. Then while I was learning those, people came and told me, you know what, just learning a website is not enough. You need to understand how website actually works. You need to send traffic into it. So now I was like, okay, sending traffic into is like the real marketing, right? I mean, I can actually put up ads out there. I mean, think about it. When I was a child, understanding the concept of, oh my God, there is such a big ad and there is a huge star in there and somebody has written that marketing message. There was always this hunger for the psychology that goes behind marketing, right? I had this, I took mechanical engineering, but I had this from childhood that, you know what, it's so intriguing to name things. I always wanted to name things myself. If I see a cycle, I used to feel like, okay, this cycle's name could be this. What if the Coca-Cola's name was something else? What if the product's names? So I used to have this weird ideology as a child that, you know what, I want to start naming things. And that's where I was very keen in actually naming things and trying to put things together, have a great logo. I used to think about logos. It's like, why is this logo like this? Why is it so boring? Why can't it be better than what it is? So I used to feel such kind of situations, and I used to always feel intrigued that, that always happens. And somehow when somebody started talking to me about traffic, I felt like, okay, now I can actually run ads. I can decide what can go onto the copy, what can go onto the creative. I can decide what to name the creative. I was so excited to learn how traffic works, right? Then when I got into traffic, that's when I had to learn about multiple ways of generating traffic, how to learn uh, organic traffic, what is paid traffic, what is traffic through SEO, so that was so in digital marketing, the things were so confusing when I got started. I had to learn 100 different things. I had to know, dude, how are people actually making money online? I mean, when will the stream of learning end? After learning these traffic aspects, people came and told me, learn funnel building. Now, what is this new concept of what actually is funnel building? People were confusing the shit out of me with, especially with the funnel building concepts and the value ladder concepts. And nobody were there to actually guide me to understand what is traffic, what is funnel building, what is making money looking like, how to actually do launches of courses, how do people make money. Then it took me so much time, effort, money, mistakes, depressed days, and then I didn't have a choice, right? I stuck through this journey. I had no choice. So I actually did a challenge in my home and came out into this situation. So I didn't have a choice. So I had to figure this shit out. So somehow I went through the entire process. And figured few ways and started to work with few clients in the real world. That's when I could actually get real hands-on experience and feel what it feels like when you spend $5 or when you spend $10 and get a lead, when you spend 1 rupee and get a deal, when you spend some money on Facebook ads and Google ads and YouTube ads and actually get a sale. It took me so much time to figure that out. That is the exact reason why the high income tribe idea started. I wanted to actually make this entire process simple. I was like, dude, whatever it takes, it might take me 1 year or 2 years to figure out, to simplify the systems in order to be a great agency owner and actually provide amazing services. Like I wanted to really learn marketing and psychology level. And almost 2 years ago is when this thought came into my mind. I was like, dude, I need to get started and start helping people with whatever clarity I have. So when I got some clarity, when I started helping clients, I started getting more and more and more clarity with what exactly is funnel building, what exactly was offer creation, what exactly was building hype around launches. And every penny that I made for almost 5 years, I reinvested it back into multiple courses. I invested a lot of money into courses, and this time sometimes I invested in with a lot of wrong courses, and sometimes I invested in the best courses in the world. Some of the best working courses. Like literally, if I took a course, I used to execute it for my clients, and I used to see results. And those were those cream of courses which actually worked for my clients, right? So I figured, okay, this is not the path. This is not the path. This is not the path. Because I've taken so many courses, because I've tried so many pathways, I know which paths not to take more than which paths to actually take. Yeah. So now I know for a fact that, okay, there are certain pathways that if we take, we can actually be really successful providing services online. So that is exactly why the high income tribe started. I wanted to solve 3 core problems with high income tribe. Number 1, to provide real-time experiences to students. Number 2, to simplify the marketing concepts and actually make it really fun for people to work together. Number 3, to provide holistic services to provide holistic services. Guys, I can't believe that in the entire world right now, there are so many agencies working. There is an agency building a logo for you. There is an agency running Facebook ads for you. There is a different agency which is doing Google ads for you. There is a different person who is building a website for you. But I don't get this point that, you know what, if you are building a complete offer from scratch, right? A person who builds a landing page, a person who understands what exactly needs to go into an offer, what exactly needs to go into the creative, they all have to come together to work on one project, right? And it's a holistic thing that a client needs in order to actually make money. If you are just building a logo, if you can't prove the fact that your logo is not making them ROI, if you are not bringing them any return on their investment, why should they be spending money with you? That is the biggest question, right? It's like you need to ultimately provide results to clients. And in order to provide results to clients, yes, you are just a part of an equation here, but you are that particular variable which is going to make or break that business. You need to be someone like that. If you're not someone like that, it's not going to actually work out for them or for yourself. Even if you close a client for yourself, if you don't end up actually taking a chunk of their profits one day, you have not done any kind of work for them. You need to go into a profit sharing model as soon as possible. Yeah, so that means that I'm going deeper in here, but let me just explain. Let me just come back to the situation and let you guys know that ultimately there are these three big problems which I wanted to solve to provide holistic services, to give real-time experiences for people who are getting started, and also to make sure to simplify the processes and make it really fun to work with. So on this journey for the past 1.5 years or so, I've been helping a lot of students, and out of 180 students to 190 students of mine, they're really successful. So there are at least 30 to 40 really successful students, and out of which few of the students I feel I'm so proud of them because it kind of changed their lifestyle. People who didn't have any kind of, there was a student of mine, his name is Nirmal, and he literally went from being a delivery boy who was delivering food and who was delivering packages to people. He was doing delivery. He was a delivery boy. He called me one day and he was like, Swarup, I see that you are working with people and you're getting some results. I would like to learn. And then I started helping him out a little bit. And now he left that delivery job and he's making more than 2 lakh rupees per month. And it changed everything for him. He's helping his mom, dad, it's in different levels. His mom works outside a temple selling flowers. And it is really hard for him to actually see where he's come from. He's come from scratch. He's built things from scratch. And I'm so proud. I'm so happy that, I played a little part in his journey and in his success. So because of such kind of stories, it's inspiring me. Such kind of stories actually inspired me to actually take the whole high income tribe aspect to the next level. So whenever I work with students, the plan is very, very simple. I want to provide them the basic concept of the simplified concept of how sales are happening online. And then we basically involve with our existing clients to provide real-time experiences. So how that works is, because I have a lot of clients that I'm working, I'm already an agency, right? So because I have a lot of clients to work with, I literally involve my students who join through High Income Tribe to work on my client's work, and I screen out whether it's a good job or a bad job, right? And majority of the times I take permission from the clients that, hey, there is going to be so-and-so working on your project and he would like to use your case study in his portfolios to get more clients for himself. Do you have a problem with that? So my clients usually don't have problem with that. And they also have couple of more eyes looking at their business, and they always like it. They like perspective. Everybody likes perspective. But here is the thing. For me to get that kind of bonding with clients, for me to get that kind of vibe with clients, my authority kind of plays a lot in front of the clients, because I work with clients on a very high level. I work with clients where I kind of decide the offer or something like that. So because of that, clients usually take me very seriously. And that is the whole point of how to do whatever I'm doing, is something that I want to train more and more students with, right? So providing real-time experiences and then training them on how to get clients for themselves. So while I was trying to figure out solutions to provide real-time experiences, provide holistic services to clients, and also simplify the entire marketing processes, we accidentally, not just accidentally, but coincidentally, solved few more problems which are existing in the industry right now, right? So for you, once you get started as a service provider, you start providing services to clients, slowly start making from $100, $500, $600, first $1,000, probably 5 clients of $1,000, and then you make $10,000, right? Once you start making money, at certain point of time, you need, in current scenarios, in current situations of the world we are in, we need to position ourselves as creators, right? So our authority, our systems depend on how much we publish on social media, right? So our revenue is directly proportional to how much you publish on social media these days, right? So problems like those kind of being a creator and how to create content, those kind of problems were also simultaneously solved while I was trying to figure out solutions in the higher level to provide real-time experience to students. The whole point of High Income Tribe is that there is no hierarchy in here. If you are a graphic designer, you do your part. If you are a Facebook ads person, you do your part. If you are someone who strategizes a blueprint, you do your part. If you are someone who builds a landing page, you do your part. And everybody is really important, and everybody has to come together in order for the client to actually see results, right? And there is no choice there. You need to put in your holistic work, and we need to work as a team. And here, everybody is an entrepreneur. Nobody works for no one else. It's not an employment way of working. Even when we create a team, it's just the only hierarchy that goes in is that people have to follow the guy who created the blueprint. And the one who closes the client is usually the guy who creates the blueprint, right? So that's the whole point of how High Income Tribe is working in our phase 1 of aspects. So you could be questioning me right now, saying that, Swarup, you guys are hardly making $10,000 to $15,000 in your life, providing services. How are you guys calling yourself the High Income Tribe? So that's exactly where I want to come in and let you know that that's not the end of the world. That's where the phase 2 starts. And in phase 2, we start training people on trading. We start training people on financial advice and start involving them with crypto investments, right? That's basically the next aspect. Web3 is coming in and kicking in very soon, faster than what we expected. So in Web3, how crypto is going to behave, how NFTs are going to, investments with NFTs, investments with stocks and trading and options trading, all of this falls into phase 2 of our learning. And for that, yes, of course, I am not the only expert who is going to pull these things off, right? So there is going to be crypto experts, and I'm already investing and learning things in there. So there is going to be a guy who is super good at options trading. Soon I'll be revealing him, pretty soon actually. He's doing killer job with trading options, and he's doubling down a lot of money. He helps me make more money, and he also makes money for himself. So phase 2 is all about making more money with what you make. So it's about, you made $10,000. Now, how do you manage that money, and how do you progress with your wealth? With financial advice is phase 2. And then ultimately, let's say you did a great job with crypto and options trading and you have made more and more money. Ultimately, then the third phase is where we start looking into real estate. Yeah. So now you might be thinking, okay, Swarup, now it makes sense. why I call it a high income tribe. See, the ideology is very simple, guys. So I had a very humble beginning in my life. I was my father is a government employee. My mom is also a government employee. We don't have too much money coming in from family properties or anything like that. So whatever money that I saw was what my mom and dad made, and they worked really, really hard to have a home for themselves, to have a home for me, for my brother. They really worked really hard in their day jobs, and I saw them struggle. I saw them struggle like crazy. I still remember, I think I was in, probably I was in my first standard, or even lesser than that. I don't know. When I was in my first grade, I think my dad took me for a haircut, and it costs 5 rupees to actually get the haircut done. And when I sat for the haircut, my dad was walking around and he actually lost that 5 rupee note. He then finished the haircut. Somehow he paid the money and he took me back home. This is, I faintly remember this, but this is the only thing that I remember in my childhood. So, I mean, as a very, very small child, right? When my dad, I remember my dad, after the haircut was over, he searched for that 5 rupee note for almost 2 hours. And then I forgot, okay, I thought he's like, he let it go or whatever. And then in the evening again, after dropping me home, he came back and again searched for it for another 2 hours. The next day morning, while dropping me to school, he tried to find that 5 rupee note again. So it was pretty obvious that, my dad was really, really working hard in order to take care of me. And for that 5 rupees, he's done so much. Back then, 5 rupees is like, okay, today it could be like, what, 25 rupees or 50 rupees. And for that 50 rupees, I don't know, for that 5 rupees, the amount of struggle that I saw in my dad's eyes was something that I can probably, that's the only thing that I think I have in my head is like, okay, my dad, who is such a fun person, is actually struggling so much to actually take care of me, right? So that is when I decided, you know what, I should never have money problems in life. I should actually have to take care of them. In fact, I should actually provide him and actually surprise him that, you know what, we don't actually have to live a middle class life, or we don't actually have to live small. We can actually dream big and actually achieve big. It was pretty hard for my dad to believe that I'm doing whatever I'm doing right now. My dad was like, why aren't you doing mechanical engineering? I've put so much money and made you an engineer, right? He took a loan for my engineering. Right? That's a kind of background I came from. My dad wanted me to desperately become an aeronautical engineer or an engineer. And I took mechanical engineering because I wanted to eventually get into Air Force and get into write the AFCAT examination and get into somewhere. But while I was trying for that, I was also good at extracurricular activities in the campus, and I used to dance a lot. And that got me into actually dancing. So when I started dancing, there were, I used to dance a lot, and then I started making, for some reason, some YouTube dance videos. And these videos that I used to dance with, I started uploading them on YouTube and they started blowing up. So there was one video which went so viral that I had to take it down. The girl who danced with me, she called me up and she was like, Swarup, we gotta take this down. My parents got to see it somewhere in some wedding, whatever. So we have to actually take it down. Then I was like, okay, I was shattered actually. But then I took it down and I started making more videos. Things started going viral pretty easily. And then I actually got a call from one of the brands around that time, who were like, dude, you just made a song, you just made a YouTube video on our song, but you won't be able to make any money because we own the copyrights for the song. So would you be interested if we provide you the copyrights for the song? Would you be interested in making it? And I was like, yeah, makes a lot of sense. And these guys were literally offering me money to make more and more videos. So you can say that this was around 2017. This is like early influencer marketing days, right? People who are not actually figuring out how exactly things worked. But the movies in Andhra Pradesh, they were pretty quick in marketing. They always wanted more and more people to dance on the songs that they were going to release of the film and all of that. And they landed me this thing and they were like, dude, you know what? We'll pay you 50,000 per month. You need to give us 5 videos per month. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. I think I can do that. I was so happy. I was invited. I was about to make 50,000 rupees per month. Then I came home and I was just lying down and I was just trying to figure out, dude, if these guys are willing to pay me 50,000 rupees for doing what I do, they also want to invest with editing of that video. They also invest in the videography of it, whoever shoots the video and all of that. What are these guys getting out of it? How much are these guys making in the first place to pay me so much money? That is when I figured, dude, there is something happening in the back end of making this content online, right? So that's when I started diving into understanding how exactly this content creation is reflecting into money. That's where my first trigger point happened in marketing. And then when I actually started looking closer and closer and closer on how YouTube ads were made, how YouTube money was made, how Reach was making more money for films, I was completely mesmerized. It's like the way the marketing was happening digitally, the processes were so cool, and it was so, you could actually see the number of people watching your ad and understand and change the ad within no time if the ad is not making sense. It is as simple as that. I mean, it was so intriguing for me. I was super excited and I dived deep into it. While I was doing these videos, that is when my university offered me a job to actually handle the social media of my university. And around the same time, because of some mess happening in the university, people were not coming to the campus and stuff. So I started engaging people on social media and everything. People started coming back to the classes. Everything was quite working out well. And they saw my work ethics and they offered me to take a full-time job in my university. Around the same time, I started running ads for my university, right? This was my first ever success, I would say. So what happened in that particular first ever ad that I ran was, we spent around 70,000 rupees to get MBA lead. So my university was very well known for having MBA students graduate every year. So we were running leads to generate to have MBA students join our university. And MBA ticket is almost 15 to 25 lakhs, right? So around this time, I remember like we spent like 70,000 rupees and we got like 8,000 leads. Out of those 8,000 leads, I think 2,000 people came to write examinations and 350 people ended up joining Alliance University at my own university for MBA that year. And I was like, okay, 350 people paying 15 lakhs is how much? That's when I figured, dude, there is so much money. There is so much money in marketing. If you actually do it the right way, if you understand what is the product, what is the offer, and if you understand the process of selling, marketing was an event. That was my biggest I can say revelation that I had in my head. Literally events were selling tickets, events were selling systems, and I will talk about these systems a lot in the coming up episodes. But eventually this is how things started turning up for me, and that's how I actually went from working I'm from a small town called Madanpalli in Andhra Pradesh. Right now I own an agency. I actually pay salaries to 12 plus people and handle a lot of things. I have a lot of clients to work with, and now I have a program where I'm training people. Now I also have a podcast for myself. So thanks a lot for tuning in today. And I really, really can't wait to get back to you with one more episode really soon. So stay tuned. Subscribe to my YouTube channel on which the podcasts will get aired. And also subscribe on podcast, iTunes, wherever you're watching. So this is my first time doing a podcast, so I'm a little all over the place. Thanks a lot for supporting me and listening to me till the end. Also, if you are someone who is interested in understanding how High Income Tribe can help you, we can help you create pathways to actually make money online. And all you need to do is to visit thehighincometribe.com. So it's not even so all you need to do is try to visit www.highincometribe.com/pathways, and you will find a PDF in which we can explain you the way you can get started and start making money. So thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot for listening to me. And I'll catch up with you in the next podcast, not the video, in the next podcast. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're hearing to this podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, or wherever, subscribe to that too. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Actually, a podcast. See you guys. Bye.